Hello. What up? What up? How is everybody doing? Let me see. Isn't that a man down proc? Okay. Let's get some Diablo done. We're gonna keep grinding some glyph XP today. The goal is to hit, if I can, I'm gonna try to hit level 80. I do not like, oh, this is Frenzy Dead and this is near perfect. Yeah, it's an upgrade for my codex. Okay. Damage CDR. CDR is nice. If I could remove life or move speed. I don't want damage. I want to move speed, CDR, and then Hellbent. And I would have to sacrifice like movement speed for it, which I'm not willing to do right now. Critical strike good chance. Am I even looking at this as shield? If it does not have a greater affix, I mean I could still find upgrades that are not greater affixes, which is why I keep looking. I do not like how the stream ended yesterday. My Wi-Fi just said screw you and dipped on me, so that wasn't fun. We're back and hopefully nothing of the sort happens again. But yeah, these two skeletal warrior masters, if only they were actually decent. So I'm going to keep doing tier 80 somethings until we get to, oh, it has a monster level written on it now. That's pretty cool. We're gonna keep pushing these because they are going one tier higher after every completion. So we're just going to do this to level up our glyphs. We'll go as high as we can. I think honestly the highest I can clear right now is probably like a 95 or something, or 98, like something really high like that, if not 100. Once we complete 100 and we have our glyphs decently leveled to like 21, we can start pushing pits. Like, don't get me wrong, I can do pits right now pretty easily. Would rather have my glyphs sorted. For like 2 seconds I forgot I was doing, like, I was pushing content and I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I just had to. I had to see just how quick I would die and if I could get to the other side. Ooh! So it seems I can't just step forward. I can't just step forward all willy-nilly. Because of obvious poison. Poison enchanted used to be very annoying. I don't think I remember it being this annoying. Yo, to be fair, we are in a closed dungeon layout, so that's probably a big part of why it feels so annoying. Because you're funneled into these sections. Yep. That's why we scale corpse central size. Do you have thoughts? What up, Arcane? By the way, how you doing? What thoughts do you have?
I need more time.
I was barely looking. Oh, there's corpse bows. That kind of explains part of why I died. That and the axe people who just shoot fire. Because they hurt too. This is broken, right? Not just me, not just strong, but actually like broken. I will say yes. Like I think it's stupidly strong. It's kind of is my viewpoint on it. It's so strong that it, like, compared to like past seasons, it almost feels unintentional. But I have to imagine, of course, it was all tested and this is all intentional, you know, and everything. But it is quite disgusting. I also do not know if it is healthy for the game or not, but I do know they are not broken. I don't think they are broken in comparison to other builds. I just know the game right now just is basically on easy mode. Like, I don't think like other characters I think are in the same boat where they're just experiencing like strengths beyond like anything they've ever previously experienced. Apparently it was even strong. Yep, it was. In the PTR, there weren't affixes locked to specific tiers because according to them, it was all still very experimental, and they hadn't taken the time to, like, you know, categorize everything and all of that. So, like, for example, you could have plus mage mastery on every single piece of armor gear. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, moment I saw, like, I only have one revive left. That's fun. Okay, okay. So the butcher just took one of my revives for free. I started as druid even on world tier 1, not gonna lie, was rough. I don't hate it, to be honest, but if it's gonna get dialed down eventually. Yeah, honestly, like I said, I think the player base overall has too much power right now. But I don't even know where you go from here. I honestly don't know where you go from here because no one likes to be nerfed, right? And as someone who plays ARPGs, I am okay with the idea of this being dialed down because I understand that it is not healthy for the game, right? I understand this. But for people who have, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess less ARPG experience, they may feel personally attacked or something. Like, oh, you just y'all nerfed us after we weren't even strong for like, you know, X amount of time or one season. Because like basically the game feels trivial right now, I think. Trivial to the point where it's like you don't need a build to do well, which is not a bad thing in and of itself, but it's like if the average content you are running does not challenge you, there's no friction between where you currently are and where you want to go. It's like why are you even getting stronger as a character to see bigger numbers? Is that it? You can clear all content without even thinking, without you know, putting any amount of thought into the character you're playing. You can just clear all content, including Uber Lilith. It's like, I don't know what's the point in gearing. I don't know what the point in gearing character is after that, you know. That's kind of like the way I see it. I generally considered hardcore for the first yeah, I don't think there's anything that could make me consider hardcore. There's too many problems with Diablo to consider hardcore, overworld and otherwise, where it's just like, oh, random disconnects, or oh, you just basically some BS happens and now all your progress thus far with the character you've been working on for I don't know how long is just invalid. Like I don't find that fun. I guess it's just Minions' time to shine. The thing is, I don't think it's just Minions, because I think there are genuinely other builds too that are, oh god, should just try to kill me. I was almost killed by my level up. You ever seen that shit? When your level up almost kills you. But yeah, I don't think it's just Minions. I think there are other builds that people are also saying are like just as strong. For example, I've heard a lot of people talk about okay, I'm gonna give them space here. I've heard a lot of people talk about like Incinerate Mage, or yeah, Incinerate Mage being like very overtuned right now. So I don't think it's local to just Minions. I think it's just overall. Like, granted, these are the higher performing builds, right? There are builds that are not as overtuned, but it doesn't change the fact that this is not an anomaly. This is not a what's the word I'm looking for here? Anomaly is probably the best way to describe it, but this is not we're not the only ones. There are other builds that can do it. And now you're dead. Mage is 15. We just need control then. All right. Let's remove that. I think there's a mod. Did I already get everything here? There's this one. It would give my mage 10% damage. It's not bad. But is it worth it? Like, it's worth it eventually, but I don't think right now I'm gonna bother with it. So yeah, I'll just leave this here. I almost didn't open this chest. Or the Hota Barb. I guess it's just Minions time to shine. Yeah, Jenny considered hardcore for the first time. What up, Heliax? How you doing? And yeah, like, I think the direction they've gone is quite interesting. And bringing up Hota Barb, it's like, according to Adam Jackson, in any case, he mentioned, you know, getting the classes balanced and how hard it is because of the barbarians essentially having two class mechanics, i.e. being able to run like, you know, more two-handed affixes than other classes, and as well as having the stats from two-handed weapons. It's hard to balance around, and I think that was kind of what they were getting at with the changes they have made and how strong everything is. But I would also say, like, if Hota Barb, like, if matching Barbarian as if Barbarian's like the yardstick for class strength, I would say those are going to be some OP classes. Because I mean, the problem was not that other classes couldn't do content, was that Barbarian was OP. So if you make other classes OP, yes, there's balance, but like I almost feel like I can, if I was good enough, I could do Uber Lilith. I mean, granted, probably not yet, because I don't think I have enough damage for it to blow her up before she has to do her mechanics and yada yada. But I will get to the point before, probably even before I get to level 100, where I can actually just trivialize her content. This is okay. This is not a reanimation upgrade. Why? Oh, CSD as a greater affix though, and he has attack speed. So in theory, if I reroll max life into intelligence, this one can replace my current, this ring I'm looking at here, and my other ring already has it. GA intelligence. So yeah, this is the one. I'm gonna keep that one, and I'm going to try to reroll it. This is an upgrade in terms of aspects. It's near perfect, not quite, but it's near. Move speed, CSC, and essence on kill. If I replace the essence on kill with Hellbent Commander, this is going to be an upgrade, a big upgrade too. So we're going to try these two items, and we'll see what we're able to do with them. So first things first, let's start with this one. Replace life. It's on life, right? Intelligence. It's near perfect roll. It's not quite perfect, but it's a start. Now let's try for you. We're replacing essence on kill, and the ideal stat we get here is ranks to Hellbent Commander, ideally, or we can go for like summoning damage. I think summoning damage can roll, right? Attack speed is also decent. Intelligence, percent intelligence is decent too. I think you misused the word OP a bit when talking about Barb as a go-to for balancing. I mean, if you want to say if everybody is Barb level of broken, then no one is broken. You can kind of make that argument, but at the same time, it's like, it's still kind of OP to where most non-pit content has any, what's the word I'm looking for here? If the pit is the only form of resistance you can find in the entire game, I don't know that that's a very fun game. Does that make sense? It's kind of, that's kind of what I'm getting at. How much money do I have left? Oh, good. Perfect attack speed. I can live with this. I can live with this, right? It has 9% attack speed. It doesn't have Hellbent Commander, which 2 ranks of Hellbent Commander right now are giving me what exactly? This is 5 ranks, so 15% per rank, I think. Yeah, 15% per rank. So that's 30% increased damage while I am close to them. Or just generic 9% attack speed. Now, of course, it's probably obviously going to be a no-brainer. Hellbent Commander is better if I am close to them. But if I don't get Hellbent Commander, then I don't get Hellbent Commander. It is what it is. Yeah, I think I just stick with it. This one I am putting... What's the aspect again? Occult Dominion, I believe. Yeah. And for the other one, I am putting Frenzy Dead.
Bright aura. Brighter
So this one replaces Frenzy Dead. Oh, but I'm not done yet. There's just a difference in mechanic being undertuned or stuff being brought to the same standard, in my opinion. I'm not sure what you mean. There's a difference between a mechanic being undertuned or stuff being brought to the same standard, in my opinion. I'm saying Barbarian was broken, it was overpowered, and then they brought everything to the level. Let's just say, let's assume this is a perfect world and everything is on the same level as the Barbarian. That means everything is overpowered for the content that's available to us. You can make the argument that everything is around the same power, so it's not overpowered, but it's like for the content we're doing, it's kind of overpowered. If Barbie is meant as a standard and everything being brought to a standard, yeah, but how do I put it? The standard, how do I explain this? The standard is too high. Let's see that. If it's okay, I'm gonna put it to you this way. The pit is meant for end game. You're not meant to get to the pit until World Tier 4. You don't have access to it until Nightmare Dungeon level 41, which means for the most part you don't have access to it for like the leveling. You don't have access to it till you're done with everything else. Now, if let's say the journey to that point is boring because there is no resistance, because the whole point of the game is for like the whole point of ARPGs in general is you have a build, you go kill monsters, but there's resistance. You can't just have your way when you're a pleb essentially when you start. So you then upgrade yourself, you make your character better, so you can then clear that content better. Like you then go from being a pleb to being a god. But if you start off from being a god, then there is not much to do in the game. Like, does that make sense? It's like if the baseline is stronger than Uber Lilith, there is no aspirational content. There is no, oh, I'm gearing up. I am trying to get perfect gear so I can do this. There is no reason for you to even interact with your gear other than just replacing stuff until your hard end game, because like there is no resistance. It's like it's too easy. Really, real talk with you here, my friend. The players are just trash. WoW gets easier because people cry a lot. D4 gets easier because people cry a lot. I think it's like everything being brought to Penance Brand Standard last league being pinnacle content is yellow maps. Okay, wait. I think it's like everything being brought to Penance Brand Standard last league, but the pinnacle content is yellow. That is actually a really good analogy. Like Penance Brand, everyone agrees is disgustingly broken. You know, fun fact, I don't even know what Penance Brand does. Like I haven't seen it in action, but I just know that this is this is how everybody feels about it, because I've heard so many different people say how busted it is. So it's like if everything is Penance Brand level and then the best you can do is yellow maps, when are you gonna actually play the game? Because even in pits, right, there are people on the Diablo Discord that are pushing pits as we speak, and they're like in the 80s and 90s and whatnot. And you know what they say? They get one shot by a lot of things. So if there's no way to get your gear to where you can actually not get one shot in the pinnacle content, you essentially have this very what's the word I'm looking for here? Very jarring experience where you go from essentially everything is dirt easy, nothing challenges you, you are god amongst men, to going back to being a pleb. But this time that you're in the end game, there is no way for you to overcome that plebness. You are a permanent pleb because you cannot, you would always get one shot. The game does not have the required defenses to beat that. And keep in mind, they said that they do not want us to be, this is content that you are not supposed to completely clear, and it's perfectly fine to have that kind of content in the game, you know. But it's like, to meet any form of resistance, you have to do this content that infinitely scales. But then you're either at a point in the content where you're blowing up everything and there's no challenge, or you're getting absolutely one shot by everything and it's just don't get touched. There is no in between. There is no, oh, this content is decently hard, but I can do it. You know, it's a very, these are two opposite ends on the number line. And then the number line is like going from 0 to 0.1. It's like it's just there. You don't move much to get from one point to the other. It's a very weird place for the game to be, in my opinion. God bless your heart, no clue about happiness. Yeah, I actually do not know what the skill looks like. I've heard a lot about it, and I mean a lot, but I'm at a point where I almost don't even feel, I almost feel like I don't want to know what it does, because the moment I know, I might want to use it. Actually, no. I only care about it because it's brand. I don't mind brand skills, but I don't particularly care about OP skills. I have to check it out sometime. What does the effects look like? Is it cool? Does its animation look cool? What did I get on my amulet again? I think I got offensive and resource. Offensive being skelly mage damage, and resource is supposed to give me, oh god. Resource is meant to give me ultimate or golem skill reduction. I'm leaning more towards ultimate. Oh god. Can you just give me something I want? Anything. There we go. It's bottom row, but it starts. Do I care enough about golem active cooldown, or do I just push for higher row mage? I don't think I care. Oh no, I do. I actually do want that ultimate as low as I can get it. Oh no, 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 no. Absolutely not. Don't mess with me, boy. Okay, there we go. How many rows do I have left? 1. We're done. I'm not gonna bother anymore. Yeah. Does he have minions? No minion. Okay. Heliax is a true minion, Andy. I respect it. I definitely respect it. We're not done with the ring. We need to do the ring to have mage too. Summoning damage is fine. Resource. Ultimate, please. Oh god, we've started this, haven't we? Ultimate, please. Ultimate, please. How many left? 3. There we go. So do I want to do this again? In theory, I should be able to get it any of the other ones in the next 2 tries. Please don't give me double golem. There we go. Beautiful. We're done. We're absolutely done. So this replaces that. Yes. Oh, this is actually a big upgrade because this one didn't even have the second slot for tempering. And for you, this is a movement speed upgrade, which I'm always all for. I get Skelly Mage, which is a bigger role. And I also get ultimates. Beautiful. Okay. Next, I dismantle these two. And then I just... Anyone else having issues with world bosses? I haven't done a single world boss since I started, and because of this simple fact, I do not have any of the material I need to actually create a socket in gear. Like, I still have gear that doesn't have sockets because like previous seasons we had an excess of this. Now it's just, you know,
There is power
sucks to be you. To be fair, I probably should remove this and go for like an actual ruby. Yeah, let's go for an actual ruby. What did I just do? Yeah, so fire res is now good. So we don't even need this one, which means this one can go into... I'm good on armor, I'm good on everything else. I don't need any jewelry right now. Okay. It's hard because everything died so fast last league, so you can only get a second to see how it works. It's kind of like you place a brand on an enemy and over time it ramps up and does more damage. It's like faster absolution because it flickers. I have done like 3. I haven't. To be fair, I've been playing at select times, and when I am playing, I do not actively see them. So, or when I see them, it's like when I'm rounding up my session and it's like 40 minutes away. So I actually haven't seen it where it's like, okay, it's happening now. Go get your butt there now. Weird, I have done like I hear no minions with the penance brand, right? I hear no minions. What do you all this you're talking about? I have not heard a single utterance of minions. Would you like to see what it looks like? We have time before the world boss. Once I get there, sure.
I need time to do that.
Once I get there, if I get there soon enough. There we go. I don't know this. Oh, this is Avarice. Wasn't Avarice usually like here? In this, like here? This was where Avarice used to be. Okay. Do not send the link. I will, if you need to send the link, I will permit you to do that so it doesn't just clear your messages. There we go. Oh.
Great Outdoors Comedy Festival is coming to Winnipeg, July 19th to 21st at Assiniboine Park, featuring Tom Segura.
Oh, damn. That is bright. Okay, so if that is Penance brand, it means I've already seen it somewhere else. It means I've actually already seen it. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting the lightning look to it. Whenever I hear Penance brand, I always picture Wintertide brand, but with a cosmetic. You know, the whitish cosmetic that just kind of looks, I won't say spacey, but it looks like, I don't know how to explain that cosmetic. Yeah, that is that's pretty strong. In Winnipeg, that's funny. Yeah, but I mean, I'm in Winnipeg, so that's why we're seeing ads. So the ramp up scales with cast speed. So the more cast speed, the faster it ramps. If you see the gear, it has a shit ton of cast speed on it. Okay. I mean, I think I know this about brands in general, right? And I'm sure you have the activate every point something seconds because that probably helps it in some way, shape, or form. Are you actually? Yes, I am. You are? Oh, that's cool. Interesting. Very small world indeed. You know, I can actually message you on Discord about that. What am I looking at? Huh. Why is someone messaging me? Let's do this.
Greetings.
Echo. Who is Echo?
Hello.
Oh, this guy. I love the emotes for sure. All right, sounds good. Let me see.
You will not live to regret this mistake.
You know, when I heard that, I in my mind I'm like, who in PoE says that? And I'm like, oh yeah, Diablo is open in the background.
They shall soon serve me. Thanks.
Yeah, that was my favorite character last week. Yeah, it was broken, but the character I made was very strong. Okay.
I could use some assistance.
So like, how much?
Follow me.
What could PoB properly calculate its damage? Because this looks like what? This is like easily over 50 mil DPS. Yeah, 140. That is nuts. But Penna's brand was bugged at some point, right? I remember hearing something about a bug where it was interacting in a way that it was not meant to, something like that. The bug made it worse? Here I was thinking the bug was like half the reason it was strong. They fixed it mid-league and made it 2x stronger. Huh. Interesting. So what was the bug like? So it ramps up and it's constantly doing more and more lightning damage. The bug itself then is now what? It was improperly ramping up. Because like something like this, you can basically make your character immortal with how much damage this just has. Oh, Rune Binder, that's the keystone that allows you to have three brands attached to a single enemy, right? This is 2 minutes. Okay, we got time. And then you're using RF for the extra damage. I love to see it. I love getting characters to the point where they can actually they have enough, I guess, defenses to handle RF on top of their RF's damage on top of their regular defenses and just absolutely wreck. I've done this on a number of builds, but I think the most notable one I remember is the I made a totem build, a Forbidden Right totem build, like last league, 2 leagues ago, something like that. That was fun. You could have 2 brands, but it only counted as 1. So that was the bug. They fixed it so it was doing insane damage. Okay, I can see how a bug like that would work, especially with brands where they are both activating, but yeah, I can definitely see it. Because at that point, it's like they are both activating, right? But because of the... It's only taking damage from one of them, but maybe both of them, instead of like increasing the damage, it was just... It was... Instead of increasing the damage, it was just making it ramp up faster. Or something like that. Because I know there are a couple of skills that have similar mechanics to where if there are two things affecting it, it's only going to take damage from the one. Like, I know RF can't stack, right? So, like, RF from two different people is just going to be the bigger RF that it takes its damage from. Character had insane regen. I actually ended up using the new Spectres with this build at some point. Oh, no, this is spawning, right? It's getting louder. I have to assume it's spawning. Otherwise, it has no reason to get as loud as it is right now. Like, I can barely hear myself think. So, like, what is this? Oh, someone is scaling curse size. Well, I'm scaling corpse tendril size. I used the oak one and the lightning damage lucky spirit of fortune. Yeah, the spirit of fortune was the one that had... It was the totem one that made your lucky damage... That made your... Really, Helix? Really? Where did Hell Tides come from? Huh. I didn't know where we were in the middle of like Hell Tides. There's so much to pick up. I think the Hell Tides literally just started as we killed it. Like literally, I think the times overlapped. Ward bosses. Heliax, were you one of the beta testers? Like were you like me, who was a beta tester trying to beat Ashava level 25? Like people who were in that boat, we remember just how cancer it was. Alpha, you in Alpha? Ooh, that's interesting. How was that? Yeah, it's not. It doesn't beat my current chest piece. My current chest piece, I'm probably gonna stay with for a long while. Intelligence. If I ever got rid of my current pants, I guess one question I have: how much resistance do we get per point of intelligence? Increase resistance by 35% all elements. If I were to get every single I guess slots with greater affixes, that would improve it by like maybe 50. Yeah, like 50 intelligence, give or take. Yeah, so 50, 100. Where else do I not have? 150, 200. So like 200 more intelligence. This one could get up to like maybe 90 more. So it'd be 180 and then 90 more from that. So 270. So that's, it's like 100 more. So like 300 intelligence increase. Now if I increase my intelligence by 300, I guess 350. And I would definitely need a percent here before I could potentially get to intelligence values to where I can cap my resistances, because 35% is not nearly enough. Because what I'm thinking now is stacking as much intelligence to where resistances are basically sorted by just intelligence and maybe Paragon board. But I don't know that it's possible, at least until I get this one. I would need to use amplify here most likely. But if I use like amplify or above these ones, maybe it's possible. Maybe. Yeah, Shava 25 fight was so fun, dude. I remember it so well because like it took me so many attempts. The first time I died and died and died. I think I basically broke my gear at some point, just dying to a Shava, and then eventually I did it. Like eventually I actually did it and I beat a Shava. But like world bosses have not been nearly the same since then because like from launch they were just like loot pinatas. You just go there, you beat on them, and then they drop loot for you. Everyone, they were designed for level 25. It's what it essentially feels like, because the moment you try it at level 100, they just fold. To this day, I still remember Ashava's mechanics. But if you told me to tell you what Avarice's mechanics were, I couldn't tell you for the life of me. I don't know. I have never needed to learn it. I have never needed to learn Avarice's mechanics, and that says a lot. The only... What is that sound? Oh, hell tight. Yo, leave me alone. I'm pretty sure I pressed my golem button there. Was more fun than season 1 when you take minions. You mean the alpha and the beta are more fun for minions? That doesn't even surprise me. The only thing I would say regarding the alpha slash the beta, I guess what I'm saying is the beta slash release is, I don't even know minions were really strong back then, because like pre-release, right? I'm talking about like season 0, like Sarah Slam and those 2 beta weekends. The reason I don't think it was that good is because of the content we had available to us. Now granted, they nerfed the shit out of them for the early game, but I think so long as they had their 30% scaling, they were going to be, they were probably going to have the exact same issues with scaling that they ended up having here, like once the game actually launched, which is they just don't scale too well, you know. Time for world tier 4, fucked world tier 3. Good luck. I think it's something you can do from like level 45 most likely, because at level 52 I absolutely just wrecked them. So I think it's something you can do much earlier than, well, no, to be comfortable I would say unlock your paragon first, but you don't need to. Minions are just that strong. If you're halfway decent at Elas's mechanics, then you're good to go. Yeah, they are pretty bad now. I just show up and alt tab. I don't remember the last time I paid attention to a world boss, because if I'm not the one wrecking, absolutely just blowing them up, someone else is doing the exact same thing. So like, what's there to learn? I love how I don't even need to move here. My life is literally just not going below a certain point. Even in the storm, I don't need to move. And I can get tankier by doing this. So now I'm fortified. I am taking dot damage right now, but because of the priest buff, it's countering it with healing. They were so trigger happy in the first season. Holy moly. You mean with the nerf, right? I don't understand the need to nerf a class slash, I guess, archetype based off of the feedback of people who have only seen level 25. Like, is your design process really so shoddy to where you would trust the experiences of people who have only gotten to level 25 over your QA team who probably felt this was okay? You know, like, I don't get it. Oh, this is the one that drains you. I assume it's going to get to the point where it's actually going to be a noticeable drain. But let's see. I haven't actually done this drain event since I was new to World Tier 4. Yeah, the bleed is getting stronger, but it still doesn't match my scythe life on kill, because everything is just dying. I still haven't pressed a life pot, and I can always do this to reduce the damage even further. Okay, let's drink a potion. Now that I've gotten my fortify up, it's staying up a lot higher. There we go. The drain is still very noticeable. I would even wager the drain is kind of strong. Like, it's kind of really tuned, like over-tuned. But hey, I am even more OP, so can I really complain? Yeah, with the nerfs, it's like, I don't know, my dude. Like, I really don't know why y'all think it's actually okay to just straight up nerf it for people who have only seen 25 levels. It don't make no goddamn sense. Intelligence. So yeah, I said I was gonna destroy that. I haven't actually emptied my backpack. And I need to ASAP. Lucky hits. And this is an upgrade to Shielding Storm. Oh, I don't have, actually do not have Shielding Storm, so I'm finally getting it. Oh, that is big. And this is an upgrade to Juggernaut. Okay, cool. I've gotten upgrades to different aspects here. When does resets happen? Let me see. Where's helltides.com?
My burden is too great.
Okay, let's go dump some of the yellow items here.
My burden is too great.
You're gonna make me use my mouse, aren't you? Fine. Where's my mouse? There we go. Does this thing say helltides.com no longer says when it is going to reset? Next Legion starts in this, but it doesn't say when the chest resets. Or does it? Nope. I can't see anything that says, oh, it's going to... Okay, cool. It doesn't say, so I think I'm just going to have to go open the chests and just watch for when it eventually resets. Because I'm pretty sure it resets. I'm really into game dev and try to be respectful and I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to be when they did that. I 100% can understand that. I try to be as understanding as I can be, and as someone who has worked with like programming, right, I understand how easy it is for a simple change to like create bugs. I'm very lenient when it comes to like, you know, bugs and, you know, stuff like that. Like when people are shitting on devs because maybe they tried to fix something and something else broke, I'm like, I get it. I 100% get it. But like, there are some changes you see and you're just like, how does this make any sense, my guy? Like this is not even a code problem. This is just this is just straight up a logical issue or something. It's like, where is this disconnect coming from? Where it's like, this is what the players want and this is what you're doing. For example, one of these design decisions that I have and probably will always question them about is like the state minions released in. I would always question them about it. Why would I? Because of a simple reason that there was no purpose for the previous state of minions that it made sense for them to have what they were doing. First things first, how do you create a necromancer, a a class that traditionally has minions and say it's not meant to be about minions. Like they are not the focus of the class, and you don't want a minion playstyle. Okay, good and fine. If we want to use your idea, and this is how you envision your game, cool. So they are meant to be support. So can you explain to me why it is that they are providing bigger buffs for the other archetypes while they are actively dead, i.e. sacrificed, than when they are actually on the board, because it takes so much to make them work with other builds. You need to go like max minion life to make them survive. You needed to use like dead razor to keep them alive, you know, stuff like that. And then the payoff for committing all of these statistics into these affixes rather to the payoff for using all these affixes to keep your minions alive is just less damage, because the alternative was getting a multiplicative vulnerable damage modifier. Like, what? So in what universe would anyone decide to use a minion rather than just sacrifice them? Like in this whole design space, how exactly are you supposed to hit this goal you are looking for, i.e. have minions be support for other archetypes? Like there was no way I looked at it that it made even the slightest bit of sense. It just made absolutely zero sense, and like it blew my mind. Essentially, it just blew my mind. I was like, oh, like I don't know. It's looking like this in the move, Chief.
Are your hands clean? Look, but don't touch.
Oh my god. So you're telling me I only got one scattered prism?
I'll see you again.
One from that whole fight, from the world boss fight. I think this is where one of the chests are. I think I have to ride from here, to be honest. Let's go get the chest before it resets. So like it's that makes me question their ability. It's not even the bugs, it's that. It's like it just does not make sense. There is no logical way that you came to this implementation that I can see anyways. There is no I am trying my best to give you the benefit of the doubt, but like it just isn't making sense to me. Like it's just I'm trying, but it's 2 + 2 don't equal 10, my guy. Like make it make sense. So yeah, it felt like they designed Necromancer from a no chests. Okay, there's living still there, but why is it wrong? Really? You're really interrupting me just to die?
I need more time.
Yoink. Woo! Nope. I feel like that would not kill me, and I'm almost 100% sure it would not. Huh. I can just drop these tempers, right? Because I already have them at the level that is at that level. And I will never use them again. Because I have some in my stash that I'm still holding on to. Why? No reason. Thank you. There's profane mind cage. There we go. I'm happy Profane Mind Cage has a map icon, because otherwise I would never see it. Pick this up. What the hell is this?
What is this?
Good question. What is this? And the next one is supposed to be here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this town and I'm going to look. So let's see, where is the actual living still? Okay, it's actually around there. I'm happy they now showed living still on the map, because it does feel like there was no reason for them to be hidden. Like I understood where they're coming from with having it hidden and what the idea was at, but nah, it just ended up being like, the truth of the matter is it just became, oh, just go to hellties.com and find out where it is, because ain't nobody got time for that. Maybe if it had a bigger review, like a much bigger review area, I can see it being a thing.
I need time to do that.
Oh, I'm full on oboes. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm going to try to spend some. I should be looking for, is there anything I don't have a good roll on? My offensives are fine. My mobility is perfect. My defenses could use a bit of work. My defensives and utilities. And I think the piece for defensive utility is, I feel like it's pants for defensives, because pants can only roll defensives. But I also want utility, so maybe chest piece. Chest piece can only roll defensives and utility.
Come back if you need the forge.
Let's just make sure chest piece is pants, tonic. I think this is what I should be trying to do. It's also 40, so should be fine.
Hair bitter. It seems very nice. Not much, is it?
Nothing here with the greater affix, and the item powers are generally low, so I'm not even gonna bother looking. It's a good thing they dropped them right beside this guy, the blacksmith.
It's hair bitter magic. Oh, bad luck. Try again.
Did you get to see the falling zombie slam saboteur setup that has been going around? I think I saw one of the first iterations of it with the person that used Arcanist brand and everything. I haven't seen any since, like, for a few weeks, so it's, from what I understand, it's a bossa, right? It doesn't actually clear well. Eluding aspects. I didn't get any of the aspects I wanted to upgrade, which is unfortunate. Declares me, but it does pretty amazing boss damage. Yeah. Oh. We came back to absolute chaos, didn't we? How does mana regen work for that build? I imagine that's a lot of mana to spend. Did I just finish my oh. Let's do this. Season 3 is done, so you on the other hand. I like how the only thing I hear is like the drops, the potions and whatnot. It's pretty much zero costs. How? How does that work?
I'm not ready
Pick these up. Give me the exquisite blood. See, like, I see no reason why the boss of this event does not give those shattered prisms. Even if it's a like 1 in 2 drop, it's a big enough boss to be considered. It's obviously not a world boss, but it should be on the level to where it can give that material, because there's nowhere else to get it other than world bosses, and you can't exactly farm world bosses. So, and I'm not the only person I'm seeing that has this issue. I think I looked at Gaz's stream earlier, and he was having the same gem socket thing, where it's like you just don't have the materials for the gem sockets, but you should. Oh, but you 100% should. What is this? Where is exquisite? Pick this up, please. So you reduce the cost of the zombies to 0 by like using negative mana cost rings, or do you give it like life tap? I would assume life tap is much easier to manage. Because if Arcanist brands are triggering... Does it use the... How does it get 50 zombies? Let me see if I remember correctly. It uses Arcanist brand, which would obviously trigger and cast fallen zombies. But to get to 50 is quite insane. Minus cost. Okay. Arcanist brand for his sets. And then I know you have your skitter bots, or not skitter bots, trigger bots rather, for doubling it. So in reality, you only need to get to 25 zombies per Arcanist brand. Brand recall and automation also costs more. So in theory, Arcanist brand casts 1 set, then it gets brand recalled into a different cast. Or am I misunderstanding it? And then trigger scepter cast another instance. I like that I can just do this method and get all the forgotten souls I need. Now I have you only gotten one scattered prism? Scattered prisms I have gotten like 4 or 5 since I started playing the game. And it wasn't from this. I don't know where it was from, but I don't think it was from this event. I've gotten like 4 total, something like that. I like when the person who pulls me ends up dying before I even get to them. One more paragon point and I get a decent damage boost. And then trigger scepter cast another instance. So if I understand this properly, you have multiple great zombie gems. Just one. How does trigger scepter, is it a squire setup? How does trigger scepter help it trigger more? Let's just quickly dismantle everything we're seeing here. No, it's worse on everything. Oh, this is an upgrade for Hawking. Nice. I like it. This is a perfect frenzy dead, so this is an upgrade too. I can finally get perfect frenzy dead on my gear. I will probably end up a perfect requiem. Woo! That is good. That is good. And that's our flesh eater. Is there even a point? We'll pick up the exquisite blood all the same. Now we're going to see if the chests have resets. Have they? I don't see any chests here, so I would have to assume. Oh wait, I do. No, it's mysteries. Boo. Just one on the 6-link Arcanist brand setup. There are several instances of brand recall happening that causes it to trigger more times. Okay, so you don't have multiple fallen zombies triggering. You have multiple brand recalls set up. So it has the 6-link in the chest piece, and then it has a brand recall in the weapon. It has a brand recall somewhere else too. So these two different instances of brand recall would then do they have their individual cooldowns, or do they just all happen at the same time? Because I imagine with automation, they would all proc at the same time. So they have individual cooldowns. Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know that. Trigger weapon is one. Okay, that's the trigger weapon. So there's trigger weapon proccing it, and then there's the Arcanist brand proccing it. Oh wait, the trigger weapon procs a brand recall, but then the automation also procs a brand recall. Give me a second real quick. Okay, I'm back. Where were we? So you have 7 brands on Arcanist brand that drop the zombies. The triggered bots double, so that's 14. It can be a lot to tie, but Surgeon General has a pretty sick detailed video on it. Okay. We can actually look at that right now, to be honest. Let's see. He says Surgeon General. Is that that's his YouTube name, I assume. Surgeon General PoE. Comprehensive build and mechanics.
Hello.
Mechanics.
The key interaction in this build is summoning our falling zombies using brands. The zombies come from a transfigured skill gem, Raised Zombie of Falling. Unlike the base version of the Raised Zombie gem, which creates a permanent minion, this skill gem instead summons a zombie in the air, which then falls to the ground, dealing area damage. The skill comes with some nice quality of life features. The zombies do not require a corpse to be raised, so there's no need to mess around with a desecrate setup for spawning in corpses. Additionally, the attack that the zombies use when they fall cannot be evaded by enemies, so there is no need to invest in minion accuracy or use a precision orb.
I didn't know it couldn't be evaded.
The skill also has
That's good to
surprisingly
know.
high base damage due to the fact that the zombies' falling slam attack deals 250% of their basic attack and comes with an inherent 150% more damage multiplier. However, these upsides are balanced out by the need to constantly resummon the zombies, since they are killed in the process of doing their falling attack. This build deals with that requirement by automating Raised Zombie of Falling using Arcanist brand. Linking these two skills makes us unable to raise zombies manually, but instead we cast a brand which, when attached to enemies, will automatically trigger the generation of our zombies.
How does he have it triggering here?
Arcanist brand therefore allows us to achieve a much higher cast
There's no
rate
enemy,
without
or is this
having to
like
constantly be standing still?
is this like an arena type thing?
For traditional spell, Arcanist brand therefore
How?
will automatically trigger the generation of our zombies. Arcanist brand therefore allows us to achieve a much higher cast rate without having to constantly be standing still.
There's no
and holding
enemy.
down the summon button.
It looks like my guy has dev mode, but like I don't get it.
Higher cast rate at the expense of lower damage per individual.
Like it's good for showcasing, but like I don't understand how he's doing it.
Support portion of the gem.
Because that's his hideout, so it can't even be like a mob that's out of vision or something. That's it.
At the expense of lower damage per individual spell because of the less damage multiplier on the support portion of the gem. However, this isn't a problem for this build. Look carefully at what skills Arcanist brand can support. Spell skills that have no reservation. This applies to the summon ability that the player character uses, allowing us to automate raise zombies with the brand. But note that the zombies themselves use an attack and not a spell. So the gem does not support their damage dealing ability, and therefore the less damage multiplier does not apply. The whole interaction works because of the specific wording on the multipliers, and the fact that summoning the zombies is considered a spell, but the damage dealing portion of their skill is a minion attack. To verify that the less damage multiplier does not apply, I have tested the skill by linking a level 1 Raised Zombie of Falling gem to level 1 added cold damage support, and checked for the minimum chill effect with and without Arcanist brand. By finding a magic pack of monsters with the life regen mod and blood aqueducts, I was able to rule out any differences between mob types. As you can see, the minimum chill effect for both cases, self-cast and branded, was 8%. If the less damage multiplier from Arcanist brand applied to the zombies' falling slam, the added cold damage would be more than 2/3 lower than in the self-cast case, and would therefore produce a smaller chill effect.
Pretty sure it was a trigger bot that was cut off. Even if the trigger bot was edited out, does the trigger bot proc brand recall even if the brand doesn't actually trigger the zombie? Because it needs, my thinking is it needs to attach to an enemy to proc. Really? Huh. That is wild.
The same in both cases.
I didn't know that.
We can be sure that the less damage multiplier does not apply. Having figured out how to automate the summoning of our zombies without lowering their damage, I'll now show how the build gains a large multiplier to the number of zombies spawned per second. It does so by chaining together trigger events and using trigger bots. Trigger bots are the two little mechanical creatures near my character's feet and are granted by the Saboteur Ascendancy notable, Perfect Crime. Perfect Crime causes you to deal 35% less damage with triggered spells, but also spawns the bot, which causes all triggered abilities to occur at their location. This does two important things for this build. First, it provides auto-targeting of our abilities, since the bots will chase after enemies and our zombies will be spawned at their location. Second, since there are two bots, this doubles our output of zombies. However, most importantly, the less damage multiplier on Perfect Crime is a global modifier. In Path of Exile, global modifiers to your character are not inherited by your minions. This means that the less damage multiplier again does not apply to our zombies' abilities. We're already linking Ray's Zombie of Falling to Arcanist Brand. Since Arcanist Brand counts as triggering linked spells when it activates, each brand activation will be doubled by our trigger bots, producing 2 zombies. This process will automatically reactivate while the brand is attached, and since the Perfect Crime damage penalty does not apply to our minions, we have effectively doubled our damage per second. Taking this even further, we can multiply the number of brands, and therefore the number of zombies, by scaling our maximum number of brands. The character starts with a baseline of 3 maximum brands. We can get an additional 2 brands from the Brand Mastery on the passive tree, and then another 2 from the passive skill, Brand Equity. This gives us a total of 7 maximum brands. Taking the Keystone Runebinder lets us have a second brand attached to any given enemy, which doubles the creation rate of our zombies against single targets. Since we're only able to have 2 brands attached to a single enemy, it would seem that the other 5 detached brands are wasted. However, we can make use of Brand Recall on cooldown to force all of our brands to activate. Each of these activations is a trigger, and is therefore doubled by our bots, so a single cast of Brand Recall would create 14 zombies. We can take this one step further though to gain another multiplier to our number of zombies. Automation Support is a new gem in patch 3.24, which can be used to repeatedly trigger spells when they come off cooldown. By linking Brand Recall to Automation Support, we will automatically use Brand Recall anytime it is available. Since this counts as a trigger, our trigger bots double the use of Brand Recall. Both of these Brand Recalls activates all 7 of our brands, which each trigger Ray's Zombie of Falling, which is of course doubled again by our trigger bots. This chain of trigger events is how we gain a huge multiplier to our zombies per second. We can also socket a second copy of Brand Recall into a weapon with the bench-crafted mod, trigger a socketed spell when using a skill, with an 8-second cooldown. In this setup, whenever you use any skill and this instance of Brand Recall is off cooldown, you will trigger 2 instances of Brand Recall, repeating the entire chain of trigger events shown before, resulting in the generation of even more zombies. These 2 setups can actually be used together at the same time. The base cooldown time of Brand Recall is 4 seconds, but the trigger weapon will overwrite this cooldown with the longer 8-second cooldown on the trigger mod. Since in Path of Exile, a skill's cooldown is calculated based on its longest base cooldown time, this results in 2 independent instances of Brand Recall. The Automation Loop setup will use the 4-second base cooldown on the Brand Recall gem, and the Trigger Weapon Loop setup will use the 8-second base cooldown on the weapon mod. You can verify that this works in-game by putting both instances of Brand Recall on your skill bar and checking the cooldown times on the tooltip. One of the Brand Recalls will have the line, "Trigger when its cooldown is over," coming from the Automation Support. The other Brand Recall will have the cooldown time twice as long and will read, "Triggered by a crafted modifier."
Okay, I'm back.
Furthermore, you can hold down the Arcanist Brand skill button to start the loops and verify that the 2 loops are independent. Since you see both instances of Brand Recall on the skill bar, and you can see their cooldowns ticking around simultaneously at different rates,
So every time...
you know that the double trigger setup...
Where's my mouse? Bro, my mouse doesn't want to
All
connect.
sources of brand recall cooldown.
So every single time brand recall triggers, it is going to, all 7 brands are going to activate, and then of course 2 trigger bots doing this equal 14. I picked up that part. I still don't see how it's 50 though. Unless it's like, I don't know. How else would he, how is he getting to 50?
You can verify that this works in cooldown.
I get that.
Cooldown chain of trigger events shown before. You set up whenever you use any skill and this instance of brand recall is off cooldown, you will trigger 2 instances of brand recall, repeating the entire chain of trigger events shown before, resulting in the generation of even more zombies. These 2 setups can
Wait, the 50, does that count the 2 different setups? So like, is it counting them together? Like 14 plus 14? Or is it just like quality or something?
be used together at the same time. The base cooldown.
Yeah, I remember all of
You
this.
see both simultaneously at different rates. The recall gem itself provides 8% increased cooldown rate per gem level and another 1% per gem quality. There are also large sources of cooldown recovery available from the brand mastery to an called 1.05 seconds, resulting in 0.95 triggers per second. Multiplying by 2 for triggering brand recall twice, by 7 for our maximum number of brands, and by 2 again for triggering our zombie skill, this loop generates 26.6 zombies per second.
Okay, it makes sense if it's this, because it's counting both triggers. No, is he? 2 bots triggering recall. That would be 7 Arcanist brands equal 14 zombies. And if you're counting the second brand recall trigger, that would then be 26. No, it's 28. And if the trigger, if this is if you're technically counting this as once a second, then the number is still off. So either he's just completely ignoring the second recall, to which this is accurate up until the Oh, I see. So he's counting the 2 recalls that are there by default, which of course we run bind and they both attach, so that would be 4 zombies, and then the brand recall happens and that gives 14 zombies, right? So that's 18. It isn't quite adding up, but let's see if he explains it better.
In recovery rate.
That's like
Lowering brand recall's cooldown to around 1 second. I'll now put together all our sources of zombies.
But yeah, like automation is triggering every second, so it's casting off 7 of them every second. That's fine.
In our automation setup, we get brand recall's cooldown down to 1.05 seconds,
Okay.
resulting in 0.95 triggers per second.
Okay.
Multiplying by 2 for triggering brand recall twice, by 7 for our maximum number of brands, and by 2 again for triggering our zombie skill, this loop generates 20.
Oh, I see. Because when it triggers brand recall, the bots trigger it twice. That's the disconnect I'm having. So brand recall is triggered twice, not once. So the first brand recall summons 14 zombies, then it is triggered by the second trigger bot, and then that's another 14 zombies. And then, of course, yeah, basically. That's still 28 though. How is he getting 26.6? And it's less than a second for the brand recall trigger. So it should honestly be 28 point something. So he's calculating 13 zombies or something along those lines. How? You trigger brand recall twice, so each of these would proc the full 7, I guess 14. Yeah. It's 14 per brand recall. So we're basically calculating this to get the 14. Can my mouse move? This one would give you 7 zombies or 2 zombies per Arcanist brand based on this. So that's 14, right? And then that triggers twice, so 28.
6.6 zombies per second.
So there is still a disconnect I'm not seeing. I just don't know what it is. Something isn't adding up. How is it not 28? Look at who I see. Huh. Already been playing it? Yup. I know. So Arcane, do you know where the disconnect is coming from between what I am seeing in like my idea of how it works and the actual number I'm seeing here? Because if every brand recall, each brand triggers one instance of falling zombies, right? That would be that means each brand, like basically each brand triggers one instance of falling zombies, but each instance of falling zombies triggers 2 because of bots, right? So basically each brand is summoning 2 zombies once the bots have their way. There are 7 brands total, so and that are triggered by the brand recall. So that means for every brand recall you get 14 zombies out of because the bots are doubling the zombies. But then you have your bots also making the recall cast twice, so then it becomes 28. So how on earth is he getting that 26, and how is nobody questioning the 26? There has to be something I'm missing. And that doesn't even take into account the zombies that are triggered by the actual attaching of the brand skill in between triggers. Now granted, maybe it doesn't trigger the skill in between. I think you are right about 28, by the way. Yeah. Okay. So I check my gameplay video and see. All right. On the counter top left.
Walmart pharmacists can support you and your family in more ways than ever.
My ad blocker for Opera GX is no longer working for YouTube ads, it seems. Yeah, it looks like it's 28. Well, I think I saw 30 there, but I think that 30 is because 2 of those brands attached and created 4 zombies, then the 28 dropped or something like that. 34. That what I just said will give me 32. So where are the 2 extra coming from, I wonder? But it looks like I see 28 a lot. Okay, look, 4 of them are attached. 32. Yeah, makes sense. I understand how to get 32. 59. Okay, this is this is in between the two brand recalls in this frame. You get the 28 and the 28, which will give you 56, and then there's 3 because there were 3 brands that were already attached producing zombies. $30, $28, $30 just means only one brand attached and did this. So like I can understand the variances below. Like I saw 60 there, but like when he shoots up like much above, it kind of gets confusing as to where the extras are coming from. But it's probably just it's probably a case of what's it called? It's probably a case of they attached, some dropped, maybe they detached and then reattached. Are you running the brand mastery that makes them detach every 0.3 seconds? You just started consistently at 28. You mean when it started? Let me see. Yeah, 28. This is before it started. It attached. It was just 28, and then they started attaching, and then it started doing its thing where like some are attached, so they manually bring zombies, and then all of them trigger via brand recall, and it started doing all those wonky things, right? So yeah, exactly, it is 28, not 26.6. I don't think so. Just increase brand recall, CDR mastery. Okay, so this is why. It's because she splits with the replica thing. She splits, so some of them would attach to this, some of them attach to her. So now you have effectively like eight zombies that are proccing outside of those recalls. Outside of those brand recalls, you have like 8 zombies extra. So you can go from like 56 expected to as high as like maybe 62 in an instance. So it's 8, no, 64. Yeah, 64 in an instance. I figure he was being modest, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it could also just be miscalculation, like it happens, right? I like how there's just a build where everything that's happening is just, you literally just have bodies raining on you, slamming right on your head. It's literally raining bodies. That's the entire build. I find it comical. It's so comical. It's funny. It's so comical that I never expected to see it in PoE, but the moment I saw it, I loved it. Now, granted, I'm probably not going to play the build because it plays more like a spellcaster than anything, but it's a hilarious looking build. It's the most PoE build I've seen in a minute. Yes, that's for sure. Because like looking at the skill, I would never have thought I could get 50 zombies per second. I would never have guessed that it was possible. It's like wasn't there a build that was like basically a detonate dead auto bomber where it uses corpse walk for the desecrates or for the corpses, and then all you're doing is walking and triggering detonate dead or something like that. Like that was a PoE build too. Like there's some builds that it's like I can't picture them in other games. There's no universe where I can see Last Epoch doing stuff like that. Why? Because they restrict their builds to I guess they restrict their builds to the uniques that are given. So whilst the uniques can be altered, while the skills can be altered by uniques in how they interact, they basically create the ways you can use the skill, in the sense of, oh, you can use this skill. Let me find one as a good example. Blight and Ebon Piercer. You can use Blight as, Blight, or you can use Ebon Piercer and have extra projectiles that pierce and whatever, and use Blight that way. They create the ways you can use those skills, but with PoE, just because of how many tools are in that sandbox, you can do some very stupid things like what we just witnessed, right? You can do stuff like that. You can do you can have a build that just creates 1 billion projectiles a second. You can have a build like I guess the bugged arc is a bad example, where it keeps going back and forth on the same chain so it gets single target when it should not have. And then you get like very interesting interactions like Arcanist Brand and whatever other trigger skill uses Arcanist Brand. The sandbox is why I love playing it and love it a lot. Same. That is why I think PoE is the one game I can play for as long as I have, in the sense of there is not a single other ARPG in the current ecosystem that I think I can play for as long as I have played PoE this league. It's not because this league for PoE has been insane or it hasn't felt like rough sometimes, or you know, it's not because of that. It's just because the base game itself is so good that I can just keep playing. I can choose to have a very different playset that's completely different from what I had just a week ago. Yeah, and it almost feels like I'm playing a new game. With Diablo, for example, it just right now it feels like I'm playing this. It feels like I'm playing the same game that I have for the past half a year. Like I log in, the season just starts, and I start leveling the character. I'm still bound to the same skills I had last time I was in Necromancer. I don't have any new skills. It's still the same. Bone Spear, Bone Prison, Blood Mist, Blood Surge, Blood Lance, Summon Skeleton, Summon Golem. It's still the exact same things, the exact same skills I was using, and I'm for the most part using them in the exact same way I was using it. I'm still using Bone Storm for the same thing, crit damage reduction. I'm still using Corpse Tendrils for the same thing. I'm still using the Crepify. Like granted, I could make a new build that uses maybe Bone Prison instead of this, but at its core it's still the exact same build because I switch one skill probably to serve a different purpose, but it's still the same build. I can decide to go Shadow Blight as my keystone and switch my Bone Storm to being a shadow skill or whatever and go that way, but it's still the same build. The way I do my damage is still the same. The animations for my minions are still the same. Maybe my minion choices might be different. I might decide to go over Skirmisher Warriors or Cold Mages or whatever else, but they are still the same. They effectively all just play the same. Yeah, I think the fun for me in Diablo is a chill time with friends. You know, just chill, nightmare blasting and not thinking. Like my wife always plays the same Twisting Blades rogue, and we play for a bit, then come back next season to do it again. Yeah, I think Diablo is a very, very well. They do what they want, right? In the sense of they want to be a casual friendly. Yikes! I should have been careful the moment I saw those pylons. They wanted to make a casual friendly game, and for the most part, that's what they did. So like. Ow. Can you just die? I'm surprised you didn't die the first time. How did you find minions in last epoch? Last epoch's minions were okay. They weren't anything too crazy. Like, I don't know. I found the what's it face very awkward though. The skeleton rogue was very awkward. The golem was chill, I think. The golem was chill. Wraith Lord as a build was decent. What was my problem with Wraith Lord? I remember having a problem with Wraith Lord. Like with the summoning variant of Wraith Lord. I don't remember what it was. I just don't remember what the problem was. I think about it for a second, I'll probably remember. Oh yeah, I remember. The problem was my dude Raid Lord was over there constantly consuming the other minions I had that were not I guess raids. And of course that is less of an issue. That can be less of an issue, but there was no way for me to fully automate my trigger bot, which is what I wanted. But I also think the last Epoch devs have mentioned what is it? They mentioned not wanting a fully AFK playstyle too. So I assume this is by design. Ow. Well, I feel like I remember hearing something about them saying something along those lines. The concept of Raid Lord is pretty cool. Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, for the most part, I found their minions to be lacking in something. I don't remember what, but it was lacking in something. I don't think it was variety. I guess I would have to remember the minions to remember the problems, most likely. So what were the minions I tried to make a build around? I remember trying to make a build around what's it called? I made a build around skeletons, zombies. The zombies was supposed to be an auto bomber. I made a build around a permanent minion army. How did that one shot me? Was I not fully fortified?
My savior.
One thing I think I would like to make in my build is I would like my fortifying gen to be a bit more passive.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Right now it is entirely dependent. It is entirely dependent on my golem.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I know where the last person is. Anyways, what minions did I use? I used raids. I used the zombies, skeletons. There's one I feel like I'm trying to remember. There was skelly mages. I really like the skelly mages in last epoch. That I think is my favorite minion in the game. I think I go this way, right? because this is supposed to be the board that has warrior in it.
I'm not ready yet.
You're dead. This should allow me to completely max out my control, I think. Okay. And then we can put the rest in like warrior, because I think warrior is about to get its... Yeah. Oh, no, not Undaunted. That's a mistake. That was a mistake. I was reading it. It's warrior. So there was raids, there was skeleton mage, zombie, golem. I guess a temporary minion I'm forgetting. I didn't use much of abomination, so that's not it. Oh yeah, no, the rest are just shades, I think. Yeah, after that it's just shades. How on earth did I manage to still get a bottom row shielding storm again when I only have a bottom row?
My skills matched. You'll see.
In any case, let me think. I think Ellie's minions are... I think they need work. They are better than Diablo 4 minions once were. And honestly, right now, I think they are still more inspired than Diablo 4 minions. Because, I mean, Diablo 4 minions are really nothing special. Like, you have skeleton mages, you have skeletons, and you have golems. GG, good game, that's all. I mean, granted, maybe if you want to count companions and conjurations, like, then I guess you could, but then you would also consider wolves and raptors and bears, and it's still uninspired compared to last epoch. And amongst their minions, I think the problem was clear speed. I think that was the problem I always ran into with minions, clear speed, where the permanent minions are not moving fast enough. Like, yeah, you can command them, but they are always behind you. There is not a moment when you are farming that they can be faster than you. You can't scale their movement speed like you can in PoE to where they can actually keep up with you, and there is no convocation to put them right on top of you where you are there. Like, you can't do that. Like I said, there's commanding, so you can actually just tell them to go there and they will go there. But while you're clearing, you don't want to be moving forward and also trying to press A. I don't think it makes sense. But I think they have to have better clear speeds, and this can even come in the form of like skelly mages just shooting more projectiles and piercing, or maybe adding a fork or chain mechanic or something. But they need to have something else other than, let's say, their movement that helps them clear, or that can help them clear if you take it. And that problem I remember having was skeletons just overall felt meh. Their base damage was low, so like even skelly archers were like, their base damage is just meh. There isn't much you can do in terms of giving them extra base damage. And then they were squishy AF. Golem I think is very fine. I think the golem does what it's supposed to do. If you're using golem for damage, you might be disappointed, but I think it was made as primarily a support minion, and I think for that it does its job pretty well. Skelly mages are good, but they can be awkward. What do I mean? The skeletal knights, the necrotic knights, are very awkward. They are the fact that you can give them a mortar projectile is awkward, because that mortar projectile has a cooldown that's very annoying, and you can't scale its AoE to where it actually matters. So the mortar just ends up being a very bad skill overall. And on top of this simple fact, you also have the fact that that mortar node is blocking off something else that you might actually be interested in, like cooldown reduction, which you might want to scale its cooldowns for like other skills. For example, if you go the fireball, let's say you want to go the fireball, not from the fireball, the skeletal knight's mage, and you want to reduce the cooldown of its regular projectile, because it does have a regular projectile, you would then have to opt in to its very awkward mortar to then get that cooldown. And by opting into the mortar, you now have something else that's taking the cast time it could use for that skill while it is off cooldown. So it has some very, very awkward things. I remember it having some very, like, their minions in general just having their very awkward moments where they just felt very, very, very meh to play. But at the same time, their minions are okay. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they're decent, and they could use some work.
I cannot salvage that.
Oh, I did not finish it. We have an 85. Do we just keep pushing up? I mean, we can. We're about to get to warrior. If we can get warrior to level 20, because this is level 15, 15, 15. Everything I'm currently using is level 15. Every node I'm currently using is level 15 already. So I should start working on the next node to level 15, and then from there, what do I do? Then I level them up to level 21. I guess it's almost, I feel like I read somewhere that their levels go up to 25 now. I have no idea if this is true. Let me look at Diablo 4 builds and see. Paragon. No, I think this is just bugged. No, it still says level 21. Yeah, it still says level 21. Like, I think the highest level is still 21. Why do I always start every dungeon the same way? Underestimating it until I die. Every single time I do it consistently. You would think I would learn my lesson, but nope.
I need more time.
Oh, I don't think I've been to this dungeon before.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Ow, 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 ow.
I need more time.
You know, I still haven't found a Ring of Mendon. Oh! I say I haven't found a Ring of Mendon, not because I'm actively looking for one, but because if I ever wanted to test it... Where on earth am I supposed to go here? Oh. But if I ever wanted to test it, well, I don't have it. But then again, I do have enough Beast and Ice runs to where I can basically guarantee I get a Ring of Mendon. Oh, I'm meant to survive an ambush? Oh, this should be easy. I saw my life flash before my eyes.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet.
There's poison on that ground that I am not going to step on. Oh, great. We have an Animus quest. This is the exact same place that was here. So they reused assets of the same dungeon in the same dungeon. Okay. Whew. Huh. What I was, I guess, thinking about is how my minions it's how the I think I'm supposed to do what this most likely. I have to look at my guide to see the exact board. There we go. That's a lot of levels. Okay, stop at 10. Can you imagine if any other game implements a Race Spectre like gem? That's the Race Spectre gem PoE has. In Diablo 4, it might be honestly meh, simply because I don't think minions in the game have the most interesting playstyle, so to say. Like enemy mobs, I can't think of many mobs I would want to see as enemies, but Last Epoch would definitely have a few that I would really be interested in, like that that mortar plant. That mortar plant, you stack cast speed on it, and you just have a minion that's shooting off screen. The huge chargers, yeah, the huge chargers could be decent. The those oxes in D4, right, that tend to one shot you, or they used to one shot. Now they don't do that anymore. You would think it wouldn't be too hard to replace my weapon. But like, I could replace it with this, but I'd only gain 12 intelligence. And I don't think it's worth losing out on potentially the summoning damage or the skeletal mage attack twice options. Where is the chest? Okay, there it is. Felt like I was blind for a second. Fuck no. We don't do drifting shades. Fuck drifting shades.
Magic in all things. Let me show you.
There's a tier 96 glacial fissure. But this is an Uber beast and ice, isn't it? Do I want to do this? I think I could, to be honest. Poison Enchanted, tier 98. Alright, let's do it. Let's go for... I don't care about armor. We're going to use the max life one. One way to find out. I feel like the poison will actually murder my minions, but we'll see. Tier 98 at level 78. Can I do it? I feel like it's going to be more painful than it is worth. But even if I break it, it's like it's no big deal. I'll just play very slow. Like I definitely have the damage for it. But I don't think I've met any big mobs that are really using the poison enchanted yet. Yoink. Ooh. I'll go this way simply so I do not have to deal with mobs that are out of my screen for too long. Can you all like focus on the same direction, please?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, and I think now we can actually start seeing the mobs we're going to kill. Yo, low-key, corpse tendril size. I picked it because, you know, it was the only thing that even made sense amongst its options. But now that I have it, it's making a world of difference.
I'm not ready yet.
I don't know what my minions were hitting, but I feel like they were hitting like an invisible barrier. Do they get your res? I do not know. I want to believe they do, but I have no way of testing to see if they do. But it stands to reason, right, that they would get your resistances.
I'm not ready yet.
Let's see. Those mortars, they definitely are anti-minions, and the reason they are anti-minions even more so than a lot of other mechanics is because they hit many times, or like they shotgun essentially, they hit many times, and because they hit many times, the affix that makes minions not take more than a percentage of their life in any one instance of damage doesn't really apply to that, because it's multiple instances of damage. They just get blown up really hard and really fast. Remember when seeing a fire enchanted mob was just like, oh my goodness. Kill me now. Those were not the days. Woohoo! Yo, you don't just run at the commander like that. And y'all just let him run through your ranks? The fuck? I need better minions, man. Golem, can you do something? My dude just standing still like, aye aye, Captain. Mission failed successfully. I will now stare at the enemies menacingly.
I'm not ready yet.
Yoink. I don't know why, but I find it kind of hilarious when they throw their anchor and I don't see who's trying to pull my, like, me, but all I see is an anchor just flying to me. Nope. Screw you. You need to be quicker than that, my dude. You need to be much quicker than that. Yo, I'm looking impressed with my reflexes. I instantly hit that shit. I'm like, nope. Blood mist. I also think the poison pool should be despawned once the mob dies. I think that's a change they need to make ASAP. There's no reason why I'm waiting 10 seconds after they die to proceed in tight environments like this. Nope. Please don't drop poison. Okay, this is still doable. Stay as close to everybody as I can. $98 at 78. I'm not sure if I died or not. I don't think I died because I just I was careful this time, okay? Very careful. I didn't have any moments where I was like, Leroy. No, I tried to stay away from my inner Leroy. This one dungeon. It doesn't happen too often, but this one time it did. Okay, can I get my chest? Hello, can I get my chest? I guess not. I have to use my mouse most likely. Where's my mouse? Yo, this game, I can't imagine only having access, like only using controller. 316% increase AoE on T17 Lycia was. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why? So wait, did the AoE increase her blade's AoE or just the AoE of her one-shot red mark thingy? Because I know it, that mark thingy, yes, it 100%, you're fucked. It's gonna basically cover the whole arena. So you better be able to eat that. But does it affect the blades? I think multi-proj makes it so you get more blades too, which is funny. So if you ever run multi-proj, well, good luck. She had multi-proj? You suicidal maniac! I need to know this. What was your thought process going into that tier 17? Because if it wasn't, you know, this is a terrible idea, but let's see how bad it can really be. Then there's something wrong. The mark, the second oh yeah, the second phase waves will be, you know, you gotta thank the Beyond boss for that. AoE, he loves it. The mark and the second phase waves, it was 400% skill up and strongest enemy gives div card meet sack map. Small price to pay. So what div cards did you get from the hellish map that you had to endure? Oh god. I don't like the idea of Avenger in tier 99, but I also want to just make a bunch of tier 90s and hope I get tier 100 because I kind of want to do it before I hit level 80.
Splendid result.
Any 100s? Lol, I got another 99 that's an Avenger. Okay. We're just going to run with our 99, shall we? This is reduced cooldown on kill. This is extra shrines. I'll go reduce cooldown just because. Akan's grasp. A divine beauty. Screenshot in Discord. Let me take a peek. Oh, Sirok message me? Staring at my decisions like yo, this is, oh god, Naji, you can't pay me enough for that shit. Yeah, I think you either one shots the Beyond boss or you just die trying. There's no in between. Why is there poison on the floor? Can you all explain that to me? What am I meant to do? Bring the budding crimson thorn to Timway. No. Return the bloodstone to the altar. That's what I'm supposed to do. You wish.
I need more time.
There should be something over here. An objective, if you will. I hope I am right. Ow. I guess I am not. Ow. There we go. That's what we're talking about. I'm guessing this is where we're supposed to be going to. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Let's get our facts right, okay? Ow. Why did... Wait a second. Why is my minion through that door? Can you... Okay, it's back. I was gonna say, why the hell would y'all spawn my minion across that door that I have no access to?
I'm not ready.
Am I lagging? My minions are dying while I am doing this.
I'm not ready yet.
My minions went for a holiday while I was doing all the work. They got murdered. All because their Necromancer was a ball of lightning. Why wasn't Necromancer a ball of lightning? That's a very good question. Even the Necromancer can't tell you why. Uh-oh.
I'm not ready yet.
Nice try. Not quite enough. Better luck next time. I like how my golem is red. Presumably from all the fighting. Or is my golem actually being enraged? Wouldn't that be interesting if your golem actually got the modifier from this dungeon? Because I mean, it is just getting bloody red for no reason. And I don't think there's any red ambience light in here. I'm just going to hug my mages because they are the people who are going to do the damage and make sure nothing gets close to me. Nope. Woo! For like 2 seconds, my brain kind of zoned out.
I'm not ready.
There we go. That's the second one.
I'm not ready yet.
My dude. The solution to when you're taking too much damage is not to get to put yourself in a better position to be shot by the people you're taking the damage from. You know, I would think isn't the best course of action. Just saying for next time, because I know, you know, we're gonna see ourselves a lot playing this game. I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. Just saying.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Nope.
I'm not ready yet.
I know you're not ready yet. You ready now? Okay, warrior done. There's one more glyph. I think it's golem. I think golem is the last one I need to get to 15. I'm nowhere near close enough to use golem just yet. So let's honestly just put more points into Dead Razor until we get to the point where we're ready. This is high intelligence. No, it's not a sight though. I only consider sight. This is a perfect aphotic or aphotic. There was no dodging that just killed. Well, till that even if you one shot the beyond, but she has a minimum duration, she has to do the waves. Really? So no matter what, those waves will come out to up to an amount, huh? It's date night, so I'm out for the night. Go school hanging. All right, Kane. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you, and enjoy your date night. Hideout Jade. All right, we have one more dungeon, which is the tier 100. We're going to do that, and I think we can end it there for tonight. Completed tier 100 at level 80, 79.
The forge is always hot.
Months 20% more glyph XP. Whoo! This is a beautiful tier 100 to run. I am almost out of my health. I'm almost out of my health potions duration. I still have some more minutes on it, so let's do this as quick as we can. I need to remember to not Leroy Jenkins. You are not the Leroy. Don't Leroy. Okay, good. Yo, minions. Would you like to get in on this attacking, or is it a bother for y'all to do it anytime soon? I'm just meant to travel to the inner sanctum.
I need more time. I'm not ready yet.
What was that? I opened the door and instantly noped the fuck out of there because what the hell? Game be setting traps. Ow. We do this one so we can get here. We already have this one though. What is that lag? I like how Corpse Tendril forces them out of their cages. Oh, look at it. I'm sorry.
I need more time.
Nope. No one-shot slams for you guys. Not today. Not today. Ow. Yoink. Just kill him. Yo, the game needs to stop jump scaring me. It's like, why?
time. I'm not ready yet.
I think I've got into the inner sanctum. Is this the boss time? I guess it is.
I'm not ready yet.
You're dead. Oh, jeez. All right. Let's see what Sirox says. That's probably a screenshot from a barber account on it. Using legacy items. A season that keeps on giving. Level 79. All right, what are we doing? I think Dead Razor is the clear winner of this. I have never had this much glyph XP. I mean, it's good. I'll take it. But like the fact that I am already 15 plus and even this one, and I just socketed it in, I think is a really good it's a really good change for glyph XP. I think it was much too slow before. But yeah, I think we can call it for today. How about that? Finished the Nightmare 100 and we're chilling. And we did it deathless too. So just to showcase how strong minions are, there you go. I mean, it was always something I was going to do to see how fast I could beat level 100. I didn't quite expect it to be this outrageous, but like, it is what it is. So tomorrow we're probably going to push some, what am I thinking? I'm thinking we push some pits tomorrow, seeing as we finished level 100, right? I might try to get Dead Razor to level 21 first, simply because damage reduction is really good. It's the node that will keep my minions alive when like all else fails, right? So we're going to see how it keeps going. Anyways, for now, I hope you guys have a really good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by if you did, and of course, good night. Good night, Scrunchy.